how you open up a sales conversation can be the determining factor in whether or not a stakeholder or a prospect likes you moving forward, or they kind of keep you at bay. So as a salesperson, when you first get on the phone with someone, it's very important for you to be able to manage the energy of the first part of that call. So I've seen some salespeople, and this doesn't happen intentionally. It's just kind of how we naturally engage. I've seen some salespeople open up conversations with a prospect by asking them their reason for being on the phone in the first place. And if you were to really logically think about it, the way that that comes off is as if you are surprised that they even want to talk to you in the first place. So the energy is more, you're receiving some energy versus projecting some energy. And the energy that you might always want to project is going to be positive. It's going to be exciting. It should be in a position where you are elevating their excitement about whatever solution you're intending to provide to them. So if you're opening up a conversation, instead of opening it up by asking them, why do you want to talk to me? I think a better way to open up could be by educating them on why people find value in this initial conversation in the first place. So you can start off by saying something along the lines of, very excited about everything that we're going to discuss during this call. I've had a number of customers find a tremendous amount of value in everything that we explore and discover during this initial phase. Just to let you know, there are phases to this discussion. Want to make sure that you get the most value from our conversations, but also enabling you to make an educated decision. So my aim here is to walk you through that process as effectively as possible. All right. So let's jump into where you are now and where you would like to be from a ... standpoint. If you're selling marketing software, if you're selling some type of solution software, if you're selling some type of tech, you should be able to frame a point A and a more desirable point B for your prospect. Now, one thing that prospects love, especially when entering into a process, is knowing what that process even looks like. So when you first enter into a conversation with the prospect, it's really good to just keep throwing little nuggets of insight into the conversation so that they understand what the expected next step should be. Now, I know when you're in certain industries, their timeline drives your sales forecasts and your processes. All right. Totally understand that. Now, when you're speaking through these conversations, it's important for you to not be in a position all the time of trying to modify their timeline, but it's important for you to try to educate them on why their timeline may be somewhat too long. Now, of course, I know we want to sell technology and large solutions. We want to sell it like we're selling candy, right? Like high buy, right? Like not buy, but buy, high buy. That's how we want to sell. But the reality is there's a journey that you have to move these prospects through. Now, when you start to think about these prospects and who you're speaking to and what their role is in this process, it's also important to know that their emotional connection with this purchase is not the same as your emotional connection with most of the purchases that you may have executed in the past. So, like an example, like with me, I have experience on, I would say, two sides of the table. I've had the opportunity to work within government and large corporations, and I've had the opportunity to buy software and solutions, full system solutions. So I've had the opportunity to say, hey, I'm evaluating this software from a particular vantage point. I am on the line to be able to ensure that these boxes are checked off. To be quite frank, I will fight for a solution without even knowing what my budget is. My aim is to check off certain boxes and ensure that when I make a decision or when I start to advocate for a particular decision being made, that my manager looks at me and says, man, thank God I put him in that position to make this decision. Now, did I consult with the finance people? Did I consult with with some of the procurement managers? Did I consult with the supply chain folks to determine how many quotes I need to get? No, I did not. My aim is I need to ensure that I'm seen as a good decision maker, right? So I've been on that side of the table, but then I've also been on the other side of the table interfacing with someone who has their boxes that they need to check, right? But then at the same time, I'm sitting here trying to juggle the fact that there's a solution that needs to be delivered coupled with something that they need to separate with. They need to separate with capital in order to make this happen. So if you become really good at understanding multiple vantage points within the scope of a deal, it's going to help you with becoming a better salesperson, but it will also help you with what your aim is at the beginning of these conversations. Because again, going all the way back to the beginning of this video, how you set the tone for that introduction is going to determine whether or not someone sees you as a consultative expert or if they keep you at bay.